and then was at No Fear. Did a lot of stuff there, actually put together a manufacturer deal and started making some serious money. I mean, I went from making like 50 grand a year to $45,000 a month.
Have you heard how Jason's doing? Like, is he doing good? Yeah, there you go. That's so sick. I got flamed online for reading a DM from J Law saying that he was coming back to. I knew it was going. That's where I knew it was going. Gas Armor Energy. You were putting together a deal. How close was that from happening? What was what actually happened there? Because I never chased it up.
I met a gypsy.
Man, ultimately, I just think it's cool that people still would get excited, you know, like the videos and the messages I got, like people responded to him. And I think that, and I've said it a million times, like I think it sucks the way that it just went with him and the sport. Like I don't think people knew what they had in him. I don't think that people understood the value of him at the time. I think he was just seen as a bit of a problem child, maybe like a bit of a stain on the sport at the time. But I really think that he was the Deegan to the Pastrana. He was, you know, like there was a role that we should have embraced for him to be in the sport. And I think that if everyone kind of had like a big picture view of exactly what he could be, and if some things got done differently, I mean, I think that you're right. Like that, the kid's a rock star, you know. And I think that he would have made everyone else look even better, and he would have made himself look cool in the, you know what I mean. He would have brought everybody up.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt you, and because you were saying everything exactly. I had dinner with Carrie Jo Coombs, who's a big supporter of Jason, and Davey Coombs, they support, they're fans of Jason as well. And my, dinner with them at Paula, we were talking about Jason, and the sad thing is you're 100% right. And the sport really did, not embrace him, and in fact had, pushed him away. I mean, the interaction with him in Villapoto, it's like, there was back and forth, but when you get the bike launched on you and you get sent to the starting line, 40th gate pick, and fined $7,500, and Villapoto $2,500, how's that right? And when he wins every moto at Loretta Lynn's against Ryan, which Ryan's, I respect Ryan's ability and Ryan as well, but Jason won every moto and then didn't get the Horizon Award. I mean, those are the types of things that's like, wait a minute, what do I have to do to be recognized as, one of the baddest dudes in this sport, instead of, yes, and I know that, he did things that maybe that they weren't happy with, but at the same time, I mean, just what you said, I agree with you 100%. I mean, you had you have the good guy, the bad guy, the this, the that. It's like you had the yin, the yang. It's like embrace that, and I mean, the fines that he received. I mean, he got $25,000 fine for T-Bone Hepler when they were battling for second in Jackson Supercross in the 450 class, $25,000 fine. And then,
and how do you justify that when the prize money is fuck all? How are you going to win that back even?
And I think that year, his fines totaled like $62,000 that year. Like, I mean, and it's just like, and I mean, it could be a little off, but they were a lot. And, and then he even donated, $5,000 to, Asterisk Mobile Medical. I mean, he was a giving person. He pulled the bike down off the hauler for one of the brothers at Jacksonville. What's the brothers' names? They played, one's a band guy. Anyway, Jason gave him a 250F that was on the truck for him to race because his bike had broken. Drawing a blank on their names, but point is I mean, I just think that it was a raw deal for Jason that they, yes, I understand that they didn't like a lot of his behavior, but dude, I mean, to this day, to have people still talking about the guy, I mean, when there's a post and I look at the comments, there's the love, the hate, there's the haters and the lovers. And then it's funny, I was watching the race this weekend and James made a mistake. Stewart as he's like, and if it was Jason Anderson out there, and it's like pretty crazy that, I mean, I caught that, but still like, and it was in a rough riding situation, but the first to mind, and, you know, sorry, James, if I know that was an accident when you said it, but Jason Lawrence came to mind. And it is unfortunate because I do think that there isn't personalities like that anymore. And I know that, you know, maybe a lot of even what was suppressed that he had done had discouraged a lot of people moving forward to act in that way, because, you know, they not going to get the full reward of maybe what their potential is, because, wow, I saw what happened to J-Law and Jason Lawrence, and, you know, I don't want that same to happen to me. So everybody, you know, and look, and again, I'm not being this, you know, Bible preaching, you know, telling people how to live, and, you know, and I have a relationship with God, but, you know, it just seems like a lot of people have become this cookie cutter, same presentation, same speech. You know, first time Jason was on the podium, he dropped an F-bomb. You know, He literally, it's like, you know, when he was at Daytona and he led, you know, 18 of the 20 laps at Daytona in the first 450 race. You know who he thanked on the podium? The bartenders at Razzles, no one else.
Like, for cutting him off or something?
No, the night he's like, I told the guys at Razzles if I got up here. I mean, who thinks? I mean, it just was crazy that he thanks the bartenders at Razzles on his podium, and it's just, you know, it's like those types of things. Which I actually enjoy when I watch someone get interviewed and they don't thank the list of all the sponsors, because I just think it's like, come on, man. It's just like everybody's got the list. Everybody has a list, and there's someone with a pit board. Like, it's like, really, I appreciate and respect the guy that goes up there, kicked ass, and says, hey, thanks to my team, and did whatever, and that's it, done, peace out, you know. And, you know, sometimes maybe a couple additional names, but man, when they read the entire list, you're like, really? Yeah. So,
anyway. Well, I just think, you know, there's a lot of people. I wish I was doing this back then. You know, I would have just been fucking drinking the Kool-Aid, and, you know, because I feel like that's the thing that I really try and do with the sport is, like, I go, all right, big picture, what's this guy's impact? Who can this guy be? Who can he be for new fans of the sport? Like, and it just seems to me like everyone dropped the ball at that point in time, and we just got funneled, you know what I mean? Like the Dungey mold, and it was like Carmichael, and then that led to Villapoto and Dungey, and then those guys had this effect. Like, we're only just now getting over that stage of the sport, you know, like. And I think nowadays, like, you look at a Jason Anderson, I mean, he went through a very similar trajectory. He didn't get in as much trouble as Jason, but, you know, he was doing his own thing. He had his own style. People tried to change him, and you know, like, there's a reason why he's never done any other podcasts. There's a reason why he's got his own chat. Like, people really tried to suppress what he was all about, and it's like, man, we're so lucky that the sport didn't fully kill his vibe. Like, Josh Hill was another dude that could have been like a megastar, but the sport, you know, it was like they just pushed these kids to just be this perfect mold that was fucking lame, like actually lame.
Well, and I mean, Jason Anderson, I'm Jason, great guy, good friends with Jason. And I agree with you that even I saw that, you know, any of that potential type of, I don't want to say close to type of behavior as Jason, but that was even outside of that box, definitely would start to cause, you know, issues. I wasn't close day to day with working with Jason Anderson, but I could see that. I think it was even I was at Daytona or one of the races a few years back when I think he was still at Husky, and I said, hey, let's go out and have some drinks after the race, and And I think that, somebody had sent something in, or Instagram, fortunately Instagram and all that didn't exist when J-Lo was racing back then, but, something had come up, and I think, he got maybe some mention internally and was maybe in trouble for it. I don't know exactly, but I do know this, that, and I don't want to make claims on something that I wasn't completely involved with, but I just know that I think that you're right there, that, being in this box, it's kind of a bummer that, some of these guys can't, just release a bit of that, who they really are, and some of that stuff. And I mean, so I think the cookie cutter stuff, I don't like all the cookie cutter, same old, everybody being the same, like you said, robots type stuff. So, but I mean, hey, huge shout outs to the guys that were successful, Ryan Dungey's, Villapoto, very successful, but I do think that it would have been nice to still have them with also the other side, and continue 100%. To have that as we go down the road of this sport is you can have those guys that truly are those cookie cutters. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but that's who they are. Eli
I was going to say, if it's who you are,
exactly.
Then be who you are, and I will celebrate you. Like the values that Ryan Dungey has as a human being are immaculate. Like he is an
100%.
An impeccable person, and we should never want him to be different. But when there's somebody that comes along like Jason Lawrence that isn't Ryan Dungey, we should celebrate him too. And I want to just go and hang with J-Law at one time. I just want to listen to his upbringing, hear his story, like what shaped him, because there's a reason you are who you are. Like that you're a product. There's these inputs that happen in everybody's life, and the inputs generate the outputs. It's just the way that it is. Your story of the way that you grew up and not having things, and you couldn't have the bikes, and you had to work, and they made you understand. There's a reason we end up being who we are, and J-Law is who he is for very, very specific reasons and things that happened to him in his life. And I think if people even tried to understand him back then, it's like you'd celebrate, like, man, I can't believe this fucking kid's even here. Like, this is right. Yeah, he's a fuck up, but it's crazy he's here.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, I think all of it's all those petals that make up the bouquet, whatever the bouquet may be. Yeah. And it's all those things that create what this outcome of this personality is. And, it was exciting. I mean, I could tell you that, walking out of the bus door, going to the starting line, I always knew, I'm like, I don't know what we're going to get. If the light switch comes on, we could be racing for the win, but I don't know what we're going to get, but it's going to be exciting. It was always exciting. It was always entertaining. I know that Pro Taper did a back page of the magazine ad. It was like, are you entertained? And it was like, Jason, and Jason was very entertaining. So, whether it was the podium speech or it was his riding style, his clean outs, I mean, it was entertaining and he was exciting to watch. And so I do think that, it would be great to have another personality that comes along that's not that same, that is, you got that hardworking, Dungeys and Villapotos and Tomacs, and where's the other side? Maybe it's Talon Hawkins coming up, 339. There was 338. There's 339. Talon Hawkins, super cool kid from California. He had a sick whip this week I saw, and I used to do some stuff with Talon. But it would be cool to definitely see a different personality that is a little bit more, that's not just the same and the cookie cutter. But so it would be interesting.
We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, gypsytales.com, packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the Gypsy Gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. Gypsy Gang.